Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. I'm Icarix and he's Kindagooses.
Yes, and we are fighting. We're immediately starting off with a battle. This is against the UAG, I believe they're called. This is just a nomadic faction brought about by the Events Roulette mod. So, the army itself belongs to just some random spawn faction, but the units themselves are part of the Parthian roster. If my memory is correct, they're Parthian units.
Oh, okay then. And who do we have here now? We have a bunch of
We have our Tarentines,
Tarentine swords.
Tarentine cavalry, our
Tarentine
Parthian
cavalry,
cataphracts, and then our Tyroi. Yeah, those are Parthian cataphracts, some of the best cataphracts in the game.
Who do we have here now?
These are Parthian horse archers. Yeah, so this is going to be a bit of a kind of roughish battle. Certainly a little rough to fight because lots of horse archers.
And let me guess the AI can't necessarily keep up or anything. I guess.
Well, they're going to be a little bit tough to fight just because they'll be running away and keep shooting arrows. But at least I have my Tarentines and Gallowthracians, which are pretty just solid. They're fast, so they can catch up to the cavalry a little easier. The Tarentines have decent armor, the Gallowthracians have good shields. So, yeah, we're engaging. The cataphracts are a little bit too slow to easily catch up, but they're heavily armored, so they can resist the arrows a fair bit.
Those bloodstains don't seem to indicate very well.
And we have our spears pursuing the enemy.
So, any updates about Warhammer recently?
Ooh, let me think.
It's been a while since we've heard anything.
Well, since you've heard anything.
Well, yeah.
I've been in the loop. So patch 4.1 came out, and it was quite a big patch, and came with a lot of improvements and things. People were generally content with that. Of course, it broke a lot of mods, as happens sometimes in big updates. It's almost certain that Thrones of Decay, which is the next upcoming DLC, is pushed back. There's a rumour that there'll be new content coming out, sort of in relation to Shadows of Change, the last DLC, to probably just add more to it, because that was a bit of a disaster with lackluster content. But that's a rumour, nothing confirmed. A new mod has come out called The Old World. It's a more detailed it's a more detailed map of what is the old world of Warhammer. And so that's caught a lot of people's interest. And that's the gist of it right now, I suppose.
Okay.
We've had a couple of hotfixes come out for 4.1 pretty quickly, which is good. We want more frequent updates, and they've been doing a lot of hotfixes, so that's pretty good. So that's where we're at, really.
Sure, from the sounds of it, they seem to be doing a little bit better about keeping the fans updated about this sort of stuff.
A little bit, yeah. But they're not really saying anything. They're just releasing more content, which is part of what people want.
They're letting people know at the very least, you know, and they're being upfront about it as well, you know. So.
But anyways, our cataphracts are doing pretty well fighting these. These are Javcav, but yeah.
There was?
They're fighting a unit of Javcav.
What's Javcav?
Javelin cavalry.
Oh, javelry. Javelin cavalry, right.
Yes.
Okay.
Our elephants are also doing quite a bit of work.
As always.
But yeah, Yeah, cataphracts are a pretty neat unit to have.
What's that?
Well, they're heavily armoured horsemen with pretty impressive charging power. The main downside is that they're slow.
Do the horses wear armor as well as the
Yes,
men?
that's the thing of cataphracts. The name means, like, to be fully covered in armour.
So both the horses and the riders?
Yes.
Ah.
Are completely
what
covered
kind
in
of
armour.
do they wear?
Well, the horses would be like your barding with arms, probably scale armour over. The riders, you're looking at probably generally a mixture of scale and lamellar armour.
Basically heavy duty shit.
Oh, this is like, these guys are covered head to toe with armour. Even their faces are often quite likely to be obscured with a mask or something.
I'm gonna assume that they're heavy buggers to wear. Honestly, I mean.
Oh,
like,
that's the whole reason. Cataphracts were slower, because of all that heavy armor.
That's what I assumed. Yeah, because like, not to mention, it's amazing they don't get heat stroke wearing that much armor. It's like,
But yeah, even the Romans had their own cataphracts. They would develop.
did the Romans get sort of an inspiration from these guys?
They would have been inspired, I think, when they were fighting against the Parthians to develop their own cataphracts. But they would have also been exposed to fighting cataphracts when they fought against the Seleucids, because the Seleucids had their own cataphracts. Antiochus III developed his own cataphracts.
So did the Seleucids come up with the cataphracts design first, and then the Romans sort of took inspiration?
The Parthians were the
Parthians
ones.
came up with it first.
Yes.
Is that right?
And
Okay.
Antiochus engaged in a campaign against the Parthians. Antiochus III. And this led to him developing his own cataphracts.
And then the Romans, after him, took inspiration and designed their
Yeah, but I think this was probably more when the Romans were fighting the Parthians.
Oh, so it wasn't when the Romans were fighting the Seleucids. Okay.
No, at least not as far as I'm aware. I'm not sure specifics, but at least it seems that it was, I think, really when fighting against the Parthians, they kind of really saw how deadly cataphracts could be. Although they did seem to have some ways of countering them. At least their own cavalry did their best. I think supposedly some of their Gallic auxiliaries would kind of almost partially dismount their horses to go underneath.
Right.
And attack from below, where the horses would be exposed. But yeah. So we defeated the UAG, and of course we had that UI bug happen.
Sure, it happens. Can't be helped.
Well, I suppose I've probably been causing it, so I have to see what I can do.
Sure, it's not game breaking or anything. It's not the end
No,
of
it
the
is
world.
annoying and I can reload. The bigger problems are the crashes that I get. But, anyways, so we've just merged up what archer units we've left. And gonna try and replace them with something. I got rid of my Tarantines just because they were badly depleted. So I get some mercenary Parthian archers and mercenary Parthian horse archers. But yeah.
Is it just the cataphract horses and riders that wear that armor, or can the other ones as well, like the ones that we were just talking about in the menu there?
Well, cataphracts, the whole point of the cataphract is that they are completely covered in armor, both rider and mount. That's what the name actually means.
Oh, okay.
Fully enclosed in armor. So the point is these were like very heavy horsemen.
So we're moving our forces towards Tuesday, or
Susa.
Susa, yeah.
because we are on our college in Anabasis. It was like Antiochus and Anabasis trying to get the eastern satrapies under control.
Moving the Harpy's Claw towards Gore.
Yes.
Or is it Gore or Gob? I can't tell.
Gore.
The last letter is
It's an R.
B.
It's an R.
An R. And am I pronouncing it right?
Probably.
Okay. Did you know me? I get these pronunciations wrong all the
Yeah,
time.
you also tend to read them wrong a lot of the time.
Actually, that's more the words popping up on the screen compared on my screen than to yours.
Suppose you're seeing it through the screen share, whereas I'm seeing it on my proper screen. Plus, also, I'm more familiar with these words because I played this game a lot, and I'm generally familiar with the period.
But anyway, looks like we're on to our next battle of the session.
Yep, and it is a field battle the garrison sallied out.
Right, who do we have here now?
Mixture of Syrian and Cretan archers. We have our bronze and silver shield pikemen. Yeah, those are the Cretans there. We have our Syrian elephants.
Syrian elephants, yeah. Just about to say that. And, yeah, looks like that's it.
Well, we have other troops, but that's what we can see right now.
Hmm.
And here's our cavalry, our Tarentines, our Seleukid Hippes. I think that's the Agama, possibly. Here's our Terreo spears, Terreo swords,
And more
our
Syrian
Galatians, our Gallo-Thracian cavalry, and this is actually, well, that might be the Agama, so the other cavalry was probably the Hittyroi.
And they're moving very, very slowly.
Yeah, they're marching to preserve energy.
I know.
But yeah, as of the most recent gameplay session for this series, which was recorded a while ago now, thorax reforms have hit. So the Hittyroi and the Agama
Finally.
would have changed. Well, kind of. Some technical problems that prevented the Hittyroi from changing, but the Agama have. We'll just have to see what happens there. I don't think I've made it much of a secret that I haven't been the most motivated to resume this series.
No, I know, yeah.
Still need to see if I can sort things out. Well, we'll just see what happens. The main thing is, we have this going on now.
We have our Persian militiamen engaging and then backing off. Okay.
Yes.
Weird choice, but okay.
Well, it's what we don't want to charge into a wall of spears. So we have our troops fighting now.
Sure, with the AI, with the level of complexity of this AI, I wouldn't have been surprised if he actually did run into that wall of spears there.
Oh yeah, that tends to happen.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did, honestly.
So now we are charging our Terreo sword into these guys' flank.
Pikes going strong there, holding firm.
And the enemy's starting to waver already.
God, that
cavalry
was
is-
fast.
Our cavalry is wiping out their archers.
God, they didn't even stand a chance, did they?
No, they didn't.
Here we have our Syrian elephants mowing everyone down.
Well, the Syrian elephants are fighting the Persian spearmen alongside our Galatians. And we're moving our Thoreau spears around. We have our Galatian spears there.
Persian militia are already taking the war. That's not good for them.
And that's the battle's end.
God, that was fast.
Well, yeah. We were against a small garrison.
Ready for orders.
And we sacked the settlement. And then we raised
decided
it.
to raise it for good measure.
Yes.
We
Turn off
decided
the
to lower the
taxes.
tax province.
Well, we just turn off the taxes.
Well, we turn off the taxes, but yeah.
You know, to help its stability. Plus, it's not going to make us much money in that short term.
No?
No, not at that stage with it just being occupied and practically destroyed.
We
Then we
decide
recruited another
to,
spy.
this one will probably fail too. Why even
Well, the
bother?
point of spies is more just to see what's going on and maybe getting the odd chance to sabotage.
They always seem to. They're always failing though, you know. So it kind of makes you wonder what the point is after a while.
To get a good field of vision over things.
I suppose.
And on
Yeah.
the odd chance get a successful sabotage.
Most of the time, they never come back alive.
No, they usually succeed. They usually come back alive. They just fail sometimes. But again, the whole thing is agents were nerfed in DEI. I've said this to you before.
I know, I know. Ooh, political intrigue.
Diplomat came with a generous tribute. That's pretty good. Now we're researching some siege tech, so I can get some siege towers.
We hunger for battle.
And we decide to move the Harpy's Claw further towards Gore and into a potential conflict. And we decide to abandon it. Alright.
We didn't abandon it. We're just putting it.
We just
We're
don't, we just
encircling
don't
it.
go through with it.
We're encircling it at the moment. And we're having a look at Parsa. I deployed our dignitary, or governor.
Nicias. And we move the
Heraclidai.
Heraclidai towards
Parsa.
We take this settlement.
Of course you do. What else would you do? And we decide to move Xerxes' Vengeance, do we? Nope. Okay.
Yeah, that's an army. We're just having a look around, seeing what's around. To build a sacred grove in Mada, in the province of Mada, in the settlement of Praga. Because that's the most public order boosting temple.
Ready, Willie. Bring me the ledgers. I will look over them.
So yeah. Yeah, just trying to stabilize that province. The general public order's been a problem in this campaign.
Really? Why?
Yeah. I think probably because I just did a lot of enslaving captives, which boost up my economy, but it does cause public order issues, and I haven't been great at balancing it out.
Not to mention the slave uprising.
Yeah, which is because of so many slaves and not enough ways of mitigating the unrest. The order though didn't
Our
look too great.
forces, our
So
forces meeting over in Maza.
Yeah, we're attacking in Ganzak. Because the auto-resolve didn't look too favourable, probably because they have loads of range units, we are fighting this battle manually.
Well, I mean, the stats seem to indicate that we might get away with like a pyrrhic victory. So,
Yeah, but for us, that small of an army, we would do much better manually fighting it.
yeah, I suppose.
It's because I think the auto-resolve factors missile ammunition a lot into its calculations. So because they have lots of missile troops, that gives them an edge in the auto-resolve. You know, so yeah. Pretty action-packed episode this one is.
Right, so who do we have here now?
The usual army format. Some elephants, cavalry, mixture of probably Galatian and Thyreus troops, and we have Silesian Peltas as our ranged corps.
Sure, same as Shindigs.
So yeah. Our cavalry's already chasing down the ranged troops.
Oh, they're already running for their lives.
Oh yeah, they're by default set to skirmish mode.
Oh, okay. Look more like civilian soldiers, don't they?
Well, those are just archers. So, yeah.
Do archers not wear any form of armor whatsoever? Like,
Typically, no. Elite ones might. If you're a ranged soldier, especially if you're, again, talking about a place in time where armies were not professional forces, they were dudes that equipped themselves. If you're fighting as a ranged soldier, that usually means you wouldn't have had the financial resources to afford any form of decent armor.
yeah, I suppose that makes sense.
You know, typically, I suppose if you're a simple farmer and all you're really good at is using a sling, you know, maybe because you're trying to protect your flock from predators, and then you're going to war. Well, if you don't have the money to afford, and let's say this is in the Greek context where typically you're having hoplites in the phalanx, you may not have the resources to afford being a hoplite, even in its most basic sense. But you can still fight as a slinger. You know?
Yeah, of course.
And that sort of idea. So, yeah, a lot of the times these are people who just could afford much more than just having their bows and stuff. Plus, I can imagine you generally won't need it that much if you want to be pretty light on your feet and hoping that you're not going to get hit by missiles. Then being weighed down by armor is probably not that great of an idea.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. Anyway, we have our spears all around now.
Yeah, where Roy are throwing their javelins.
Oh,
Now
they were javelins, sorry, my bad.
Yeah. And now we've entered the routing phase.
God, that was fast.
Again, it was a small rebel army. It was just because the auto-resolve did look great that I fought it manually. Others I would have auto-resolved it. Yep, Recolour Thracians.
Forces
Hello,
are pretty
hippies.
spread out there. Infantrymen making, our infantrymen are picking off our just desserts.
Well, at this point it's mostly the cavalry doing it. We have elephants chasing down this group.
Oh, no, you're not getting away from us.
Well, we're gonna hope they can't. Or won't. They probably will.
Damn. Cowards.
Very thyroid. The companions, as they're
Thyroid.
called.
Picking off their strays there. So I don't know what we were worried about. The battle seems to have gone in our favor.
Well, yeah, it would have. The problem was the auto-resolve. You know, that was the problem, was the auto-resolve, not the actual battle itself. The auto-resolve is not always a great metric for how the battle will go. That's
Here,
kind
takes
of
the
the
fun
point.
out of everything.
So yeah.
Those guys are sitting nice and comfy there. They don't have to do a damn thing.
Yeah, because it'd be harder for them to reach the enemy.
The Tyroi are just wandering around aimlessly trying to find people to pick off.
Well, yeah, they're chasing the
Success.
single archer dude.
I find it a bit excessive that they need an entire. That they need that many people just to take out one person. I don't know. I just find it funny.
Perhaps.
Oh, and here we go.
So yeah,
Decisive victory, and we decide to
kill the captives.
not worth the effort. Not worth the effort of keeping them at least.
Well, they're traitors, they're rebels, so might as well kill them.
Death to the traitors.
And I'm moving the spears of Ares over. It's a new army.
It's a new army.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And Gore seems ripe for the taking there.
Uh-huh.
Choose very carefully. Oh, and I see we decide to go for the battle.
Yep. Auto-resolve is a bit too costly.
How
So it's either-
exactly is it costly?
Because, well, because if we auto-resolved it, we'd probably take more casualties than if we manually resolved it. So, yeah. Here we have our Peltas and our Slingers as our ranged core here. Well, I suppose I say they're Peltas. They're not equipped with Peltai though.
They're Peltas, but they're not equipped with Peltai.
Yeah.
What's Peltai exactly?
A Pelte, plural Peltai, was a type of shield.
Oh,
It was, well, there was broadly two different types. The typical, like, Thracian Pelte was, like a made of wicker, kind of crescent-shaped shield. Made of wicker or wood and covered in, like, animal hide. Then I guess the more Greek-style Pelte, was more like, I suppose, a small aspis. It was made of wood and had like a bronze covering, but it was small.
did they
So-
prepare one type of shield over the other, or did they try to use both at the same time?
I don't really know. The as I say, the traditional Pelte was a Thracian shield. You know. The thing is, though, for whatever reason, Greeks seem to like using this other version. But the peltas that we have are equipped with Tureoi shields. Yeah, they have Tureoi. But they're called peltas anyway.
Archers away.
Yeah, their archers are firing, but they're outranged by my slingers.
Dumb AI acting up again.
It's just the fact that my slingers have better range. Slingers typically outrange archers. And now we're raining javelins down on the enemy.
Have our Syrian elephants leading the way there.
Yeah, they're moving around.
Leading the way. Don't know where they're rolling off to, but they decide to back off from our heavy wall of spearmen there.
Well, yeah, they don't want to charge into the wall of pikes. Who would? Would you? You know?
Oh, taking some heavy losses there.
Yeah, and now I'm charging my Threapoi in.
Ooh, that's nasty. Oh, and we have our Syrian elephants coming back to join the fold.
Yeah.
Oh, they're a little bit surrounded there.
There's our cavalry engage and our Galatians engaging with the enemy. This is a different unit Galatians that we have here. They're called Catuiros Calgo.
Yeah?
A unit of 300 strong, lightish swordsmen. And the Kuroas, which have a mixture of swords and axes. So you equip those Latin Celtic swords. But yeah, battle's going pretty well.
Very well, I must say.
Yeah, you can see the slaughter happening.
Yes, you can see it on their literal bodies.
I'd love to get my hands on a Latin Celtic sword.
Yeah?
Yeah. If there was any of those swords in general I'd like to get my hands on.
Which one in particular would you like?
Well, I'd like the Roman Gladius, the Spada, the Falcata, the Copis, the Xippos, the Latin Celtic sword. Those are some notable swords I'd be interested in. The Sika, and the Rompire, and the Falks. So granted, they're all very similar to each other.
I'd imagine they'd be hard to find.
Well, you can find makers for them.
Yeah?
Yeah, there are people who make them. In Res Berica, make a lot of those.
Oh. Well, anyway, I think this is the end of our session now.
Yes, it is. A
So
nice
thanks for-
action-packed session.
Alright, well, thanks for joining us, dear viewers.